And another thing, some of y'all are venerating y'all ancestors, y'all just don't call it that. But that's what you're doing. And now that Deontay Kyle has sounded the alarm, let's go to church. I've been waiting to talk about this. Before we go any deeper, I just want to remind you, you are already walking in the footsteps of your ancestors, even when you didn't know it. Let's talk about syncretism. Syncretism is when spiritual systems blend and merge, when people take the essence of their traditions and weave it into something new. It's not confusion, it's innovation. It's what happens when the soul refuses to forget where it came from, even when the world tries to make it forget. When Africans were stolen from their land and brought to the Americas, they didn't abandon their gods, their songs, or their rituals. They simply hid them in plain sight. What looked like Christianity on the surface was actually African spirituality speaking in code. See, most people are familiar with this concept when it comes to the Caribbean. That blending from the old world to the new world, that gave us voodoo, santeria, candomblé, they gave us obeah. But here in America, you know what it gave us? The Black Church. The Black Church was not the erasure of African spirituality. It was the disguise that kept it alive. When we shouted and we caught the Holy Ghost, when we laid hands and anointed our heads with oil, we were practicing energy work. When we gathered in circles and sang until something moved through us, we were invoking spirits. When we said, the spirit moved, we were describing possession. The same sacred state our ancestors entered when they were communing with divinity. The tambourine replaced the drum. The altar call replaced the ancestral call. And the church mother became the high priestess. We were never disconnected. We just adapted. Our ancestors were so brilliant. They encoded their traditions in hymns, in rituals, in prayers, in the way they moved the energy through their body. They called it praise, but it was also conjure. They called it healing, but it was also divination. They called it worship, but it was also remembrance. The spirit that came over Big Mama in the pews, that was an ancestral current. The tears, the trembling, the trance, those were sacred technologies being brought to life in the new world. Understanding this helps us heal the false divide between religion and spirituality. The whole idea that that is demonic, this ain't nothing new, baby. Our folks been doing this. They just didn't call it that. It helps us see that the Black church was never just about survival. It was also about memory recall. It was our ancestors' way of saying, no matter what they tell you about who you are, never, ever forget. They can strip you of your name, they can strip you of your family, but what they can't take are your memories, your bloodline, your DNA, divine, natural authority. That's who you really are. Remember, wake up. When we reconnect with our ancestors now, we're not abandoning the faith we were raised in, the faith that kept us through. We're completing the story. We're bringing the hidden wisdom back into the light where it belongs.